Welcome friends, welcome to my YouTube channel InterviewQUE. So in this channel we are more focusing on creating the interview questions and answers that would help you to find a job which you are liking. And in this video I am going to talk about what are the guidelines to follow during test automation. This is one of the very important interview questions being asked, and if you are looking for both manual and automation testing job. So let's move on how or what is the answer for this. So here what we'll have to answer is when the manual test cases are in a good shape and where we will have to move into the test automation to bring it efficiency or speedness in executions. So that is when test automation will come into picture, right? And when you are doing the test automation, right, you will have to bring in a lot of processes and kind of a checklist that ensure you are writing the or you are building the right set of test automation, right? Hence I called this interview question is very important, and it would be a break or no break question, right? So you will have to answer as below. So automation scripts, when you are doing it, will have to come up with some standards or some industry standard being adopted, and you will have to write a lot of reuse functions, right? So that you may not be building a duplicate code, all those things, right? And you should have a right framework to enable to call the reuse functions, right? So those are the also guidelines you will have to adopt. And when you are building a automation framework for the automation area which you are going to be adopting, and that framework should have a capability of extensibility. Today there are certain technology being used, and tomorrow there is a slight extension to that, then your complete automation script should not go wasted, right? You should have a mechanism to adapt the changes, right? As and when there is a change, and you should be able to adapt or provide an extensibility in those areas. And when you're doing automation, your automation framework should have very good logging mechanisms, right? If it is having a user-friendly log mechanism, it is very easy for the tester to validate, to understand where the issue is all about, right? That would help the tester to perform the verification in very quicker manner. And fifth things we'll have to remember is, or the guidelines we'll have to do is, your automation should have a mechanism of selective execution. Let's say you may be having thousands of test cases being automated, but if you wanted to execute only particular module or a particular critical test cases or only sanitary test cases, then your automation framework should have a mechanism of selective executions that would speed up the execution when it is really required by the as defined as by the stakeholders. And also you should able to have a mechanism of error handling, right? And this is very important. Let's say when during automation execution, certain places it gets stuck, right? or certain places your automation tool is collapsed or your application is collapsed, then how will you the automation team will automation tool will recover, how it can continue their execution, continue its execution in a more generous way, right? So all the mechanisms you should be able to adapt when you are bringing an automation. And seven important point is you should also look into the concept of test data being used in each test cases, right? Test data should be independent, right? And you should create the test cases along with the test data, right? Once the executions are done, and you should clean up the relevant test data as well. Basically, the important guidelines is before execution, the application which you are testing, it should be clean, and as and when execution is also completed, and whatever the data imported, and you should clean those as well. That would guarantee that the coming test cases doesn't fail, because if it is already some data exit, and it may fail in certain situations. And if you follow these 8 guidelines during your test automation, then definitely it would give a good results during your automation journey. I think I am ending to this video. See you guys until my next video. Take care. Bye bye for now.